Hello, welcome everyone. I wanted to do a quick tutorial on water movement in Unity, in 2D Unity, and also just how to do alternate movements in general within a region. So I have this scene set up with a player, a ground plane that has a box collider on it, like a little ledge with a box collider, and my camera, which is currently tracking my player's movement. So if I hit play, I have the camera tracking script, so it will follow my player around. Keep in mind that I have the player movement script on, but I can only jump once. So what we're going to do to set up our scene is the first thing we want to do is make this a little bit deeper so that we can, that's good enough, have some space to swim in. And then I'm going to hit Control D, duplicate that, bring it over. I'll hit Control D again. This time I'm going to scale this down. Something like this, maybe down to 1. And just make sure that it's not trying to scale. 24 maybe. If I hit play at this point, you see that I can jump down into this very large pit. Now I'm stuck down here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to fill this with another area, but instead of this being a solid box collider, we're going to change the color to a light blue, since we're trying to make water here. And then we're going to scale it up so that it fits within this area. Overlap a little bit. Just trying to set this up here. Maybe a little, and then looks good. On the sorting layer, I'm going to set it just to -1 real fast to send it to the back. And then this will be our water zone. So we're going to add a box collider 2D to it, but instead of having it set up as a default, we're going to set it to isTrigger. So now, if we hit play, we'll walk over here and we can jump into the water and we'll go into it, but you see nothing has changed in how we move. So all of that is going to come from the script itself. So if you want to edit along with this, we'll just revise the player movement script. So if you double click on that, okay, bring it up here, and go ahead and open it up top, we can begin to work on it. So the first thing that we need in order to get this to work is we need to make a new Boolean. We'll say public bool in water, because we need to tell Unity when we're in the water region. The second thing we'll need is we'll need an on trigger, enter and exit for our stuff. If you already have an on trigger, enter and exit, you can just put it inside of here. But what's going to look like is this. On void trigger enter 2D, instead of collision, say other. And then we're going to look for a tag. We'll use a tag for this. If other dot game object dot compare tag is water, and we'll say in water equal to true. And then we can copy and paste this whole thing. Come down below it. Then I'm going to hit paste. And then we're going to change this one. So instead of private void on trigger enter 2D, we're going to change it to on trigger exit 2D. Then we're going to say if other game object compared to water that we're exiting, we're going to say in water equal to false. So that's the first thing that we need to do. And we're going to set up this Boolean to look at when we're in the water and out of the water, so that we can set some movement conditions with it. So if I go back to my scene and click play, and select my player, we come down here, I have this new value in water. If I jump in, oh, it's not updating. Let's take a look. Oh, it's not updating because we need to change the tag. Right now it's untagged. We'll change that tag from untagged to water. And now if we do this, and click on our player, you'll see that our Boolean is updating correctly. If you need a refresher on how to add tags, all you need to do is come over here and say water, where it says tag, go down to add tag, and you'll click this plus to add a water tag. Okay. So from here, we'll begin to do a little bit more work revising our script. So let me jump back over. So the next thing we need to do is take a look at our jump command. So this if input get button down and is jumping. What we need to do is rewrite this and add a new condition for it. So we're going to say, instead of this old one, we're going to add this. So if we're not jumping and we are not in water, we're basically going to do the same thing, right? Because this is what we're used to doing. We haven't had water before now, so we'll leave all of this the same. But we have to add a new condition here. So if we copy and paste this, what we're going to do at this point is we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look at what happens if we are in water. So we'll take that off. And what we're going to do instead here is instead of keeping this true, we're going to set is jumping to false. Right. So this is good, but by itself, it won't be enough to fix everything, because right now our jumping is being controlled by these collisions, like these on collision enters and this on collision exit. So what we need to do is that we can leave this one the same, but what we want to set is, because when you enter it, we want jumping to be false, so we can jump again in the water. But when we exit it, if we're in the water, we don't want is jumping to be true, because we basically want to be able to swim every time we hit the spacebar, like a free jump. So we're going to make some changes here. The first one we're going to make is to this. The first one we're going to make is to this first command, where we're going to say and not in water. And we're going to leave this one the same. But then we have to copy and paste it. Like this. Take this in water exclamation mark off to say, oh yeah, we are in water. And then we want is jumping to be false in that case, so that we can keep jumping around. So if we save this and take a look, I have to compile. Hold on one second. Right, here we are. Let's see the difference. So on land, we're still jumping like normal. You can only jump once. If we get in the water, now what you'll see is now we can start jumping around like this. We can even jump out of the water pretty high, like a dolphin. If we need to jump back on land, all of a sudden that goes away. We can only go back to our normal movement. So using this, you can create these water zones that anytime you're in them, you can create a different kind of water movement. You could also modify the jump force if you wanted. Like if this is too strong, you could go into your player. And if you go down to the script, you have the jump value. You could go into your script and you could set in this point where you're in the ground and in water, and you hit the jump button, that your jump force is now equal to a smaller value. So just things to keep in mind, but I just wanted to share this quick tutorial with you about how to create water controls in Unity. All right, thank you all.